Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so happy to be here.
Podcast, yeah.
Yeah, so today we're here with a very special guest. I'm very excited about this one.
Drum roll, please.
I'm KB, as always, and I'm with
Extra producer.
my co-host. I'm joking.
Yeah, producer extraordinaire. And today we are joined with
Ellis.
Woo!
Ellis Lost.
Thank you for coming.
Did you watch that program Lost?
Oh yeah, a while ago.
Ages ago, right?
Yeah.
I want to know what the body.
I can't say I'm familiar with it.
It's like this TV show about people and they're on a bloody island and then they're like lost and then they're trying to find their way back to society and it's just a whole thing.
Basically sounds like producers when they go to the studio for a few days and then they're just like lost in there and then they come back to the real world and they see sunlight.
What, like a camp?
Basically.
Yeah.
It's like a producer camp, which is good. Anyway, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on today. What have you been saying? Tell the people who don't know what you're all about, what you've been up to.
All right. I mean, what's up, everyone? I'm Ellis. I obviously make beats and that. I make samples, videos, a bit of everything in it. But I mean, what should I say? Like, I work with
The whole shebang, yeah.
The whole 39.
I work with like Trippie Red.
Woo! Go on, gas it up. Come on.
Like NLE Choppa, like
Woo!
you know,
Crazy.
those that sort of thing. And I kind of like, you know, it's.
You can't downplay these kind of names.
I know, no. This is we're with a big dog right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
No little fish.
This is you know it's a serious stuff. How I mean I guess like the burning question that I have straight away when it comes to like the Trippie Reds and the NLE Choppers and the big playmakers. How does this come about?
I mean, it's a process, to be honest. Like, it's not like something you get just straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the stuff I've gotten over like years.
Okay.
So I mean, the NLE song that was with Southside, and to connect to him, it's like 3-4 years. Since I started making like Southside type beats. So that was literally how I started.
What, and you've been doing that for what, like, say 4 years?
I think I started 2018.
Okay, and you're 19 now.
2005, yeah.
Sick. So I can't do the maths in my head.
You must have been what, like 17, 18? What year was you born?
Oh, 2003.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking that you're
That's
my
my
age.
2003 babies,
Yeah,
trust me.
How old is he then? How old was you then when you first started?
I can't even do my maths this time.
Was it?
I was like 15, I think.
Oh
15,
damn!
16-ish.
Okay, young.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
because we started. I was like, we just moved to the countryside, and
From London.
from Norwich. Right?
Oh, okay.
It was just countryside, so there's like nothing there, not really much to do, sort of thing. I had these 2 speakers. It's like 20 quid that I bought online. And it was like, you know, those water speakers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Those really bad quality ones.
Oh, what? When they
Yeah.
like splash up
Yeah.
and like change colours and
I
stuff?
saw it and I was like,
They
oh,
were lit
sick.
though. I can't lie. They were very lit.
No,
But-
if you pull up to Motive and they didn't have them speakers,
Literally.
like, you know, it's not popping off.
They were like they were like this big, sort of thing. So
Yeah,
it was like
so no bass,
proper.
nothing.
Yeah, but I thought it looked sick, so
Yeah.
I thought I got the right, right thing.
And then, So then when you were like 15, 16, when you had these speakers, what made you want to like use FL Studio?
Yeah, always.
Is that where you started on FL? How did that happen?
Well, when I started, it was more or less because of like people like Southside, Murder Beats, Wonder Girl sort of thing.
Yes.
And so I was thinking, I was like, you know, how do I do what they do?
Yes.
Because I want to be in the industry, but I don't want to like rap.
Yeah.
I don't really like doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, producing. And then I saw, I think it was a Metro video. It was like that Razor
The
one.
legendary
Yeah,
Razor
it's a
Metro.
Razor
one.
Stop touching the mic.
You know about this one.
No.
The Metro Boomin video where like he just is legendary. I feel like every single producer
I
they,
swear.
they watched it.
What, it's like a meme or something?
It's turned into a meme at this point, but it's just made a legendary beat. I'm gonna adjust my mic quickly because this is sagging. But please continue.
Yeah, but I mean, I swear that's why like so many people started. To be fair, that video. But like, I saw that and I saw he was using FL because it was like proper like for people who started off because it was saying like, you know, saying what FL was, and I was like sick. So obviously I got a demo for that, and you can't save it, sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, starting off my beats were just they were bad. Like it was to the point where there were some people at school that would literally like they had a Bluetooth speaker, and they'd play the beats out because I had the SoundCloud and just fully rinse it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I was there. I was like, I was thinking about quitting as I was starting.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
I was getting rinsed for that, but I mean, nowadays
that was literally my secondary school experience as well.
so yeah,
When I started producing, like no one takes you seriously until you're up a little bit, you know what I mean? And then after that, yeah, it's different.
Yeah, so like nowadays, those same people, they'd support me like a lot.
Absolutely.
It's cool to see the difference. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Like a little full circle moment.
You were first
Cool.
on SoundCloud. Is that kind of like how you getting your stuff out there?
I think I just didn't really know what else to do. I had no clue. I just wanted to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I had SoundCloud before because we didn't have like Spotify. So I was just using SoundCloud like with ads and stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw you could just post in there, so I got like 50 plays or something. But I thought just something I could listen to it on my phone. So that's all I thought of it.
What was your first introduction to music, like producing wise? Was it in school or like did you do it on your own? Like did you come back from school and was like, okay, I actually want to try this?
I think it was that,
Yeah,
like
outside of school.
yeah, because I mean, my dad used to be an artist back,
Okay.
and I don't know if it's true, but I kind of want to say he stopped because I was born. So,
Oh, really?
like, I'm not too sure, but like he used to be on like that sort of boom bap vibe,
Right.
sort of old school sort of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So like, I mean, I don't even know if it was because of that, but like, I think it was actually because my uncle, he introduced me to, 21 Savage.
Yeah.
It was that.
Just a light little name drop there.
I know 21 Savage.
Oh no, it was like his album with Metro, the one with like the dagger and
Yeah.
and
No Heart.
yeah, so
One album.
So imagine me back then. I was like just listening to like boom bap because my dad was.
Yeah.
And then I heard this, and I thought it was a joke at the start. I was like, what the hell is this sort of thing?
Yeah.
And then from that was kind of when I got onto it because I thought I soon like learned that. Like, my ears kind of adjusted. And I was like, this is actually good sort of thing. And so I just started there. I just loved it.
It's so crazy. I think we went through exactly the same phase because when I first started listening to rap music, it was straight like Dr. Dre, Eminem, whatever. Then someone literally showed me 21 Savage, and it was that No Heart song, and I was like,
So that's crazy.
And then all of a sudden,
I feel really old right now.
Really?
Yeah, I feel old
like
sitting
21
next to
do you like 21
young
Savage?
people. Huh?
Do you like 21 Savage?
I like him now more than I did before. Like those like like No Heart and like I don't even know those like main ones.
X.
The main ones aren't like me. Okay. I like his new stuff with like J. Cole and stuff. I like those. But that's partially just because J. Cole is on the song.
Right, okay. So it's not so you got okay. And so you found out about 21 Savage. How do you start just making like 21 Savage type beats kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I came across Southside.
Right. Okay. So let's learn more about this because Southside's not an easy man to get to. Yeah. So how
was it your first collab?
I mean major.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like kind of like major ones, but not to that level. That was crazy. But I mean, like how it came about, it was so like out of the blue. Like I'm still trying to think how it did because it's got like it's like there's a few things
like a unicorn moment.
I could go into it.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I think there was like 3 or so ways how. I never actually asked them to. I don't know why I haven't, but one of them.
Yeah,
I put
those
this,
things you don't really question.
Yeah, I was like, how did you
just let it happen?
Yeah. So like one of them, I had this loop kit that came out, the Southside loop kit. It had like 11K views or something. It was always a number one. The ranking.
Right. Okay. So.
And he had a session with Ken Carson, TM88. That's when I first found out about Southside stuff.
Saw that live stream. Crazy.
Yeah. But when I saw that, I was so gassed. I was but I swear Ken said in the background, like he said he found the kit or something.
Yeah.
So it could be that. Or someone gave me like his email like way back, his old email. It was before it was flooded. I mean, nowadays you can't even send that email.
Well, the email doesn't even work.
Yeah. But like, I remember I was just sent to that like so much. Just like loop South like every day.
Yeah.
And it could have been that. But I just remember seeing that live stream. And then I posted on my Instagram and just saying like, new Southside teammate, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he like so on Instagram when you tag people, it like goes into the DM saying like you tagged, whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So then it was that, and then he replied to that, and he was like, "Send me more shit," and it was like,
oh, so he actually hit you up.
Yeah, he actually replied.
Crazy.
But imagine I was just like, yeah, and then
What?
after he said like, he sent his email and stuff, and then that email he said that was the one I was already sending to. So it's like.
So you had loads just to like choose from.
Unlimited loops. Would you not to be that guy, would you class yourself as like a loop maker, or do you reckon we're doing the whole shebang here?
I mean, I'm trying to transition.
Yeah.
But because for like the American stuff, I feel like to get yourself into the doors, more or less loops, unless you know the people, but loops you can widen it so much you can have like a higher chance.
Exactly.
So I mean, right now it's classified as that, but I'm trying to,
You're trying to do more.
Trying to write it out.
Yeah.
But you can do both without it being too straining, right?
100%.
I know. I just feel like I get you that for like productivity reasons. For like when you're connecting to much larger producers in America who are going to get you like the big like billboard cuts, because you know, so the UK scene is so small in comparison to like getting one major, I don't know, NLE Choppa placement, for example. It's very different.
Doors start opening.
Doors start opening, and like you connect to more producers. Like I said, you get like a higher chance of actually like shit landing. Really, how much do you play any instruments?
Not like properly, but I've got various stuff.
I was gonna say, so why are you making melodies? How does that work?
I mean, most of it's just literally like writing the door sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more instruments and trying to get more on that, because like with guitars, like you can kind of emulate it in FL, but it's just not the same.
It's not the same as like a real kind of.
Yes, I mean, not yet, but I can kind of like play piano. I've got like some flutes and that, but
That's cool.
you know.
Except some flutes.
Just got a little flute lying around.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you have any siblings?
Huh?
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got a sister.
Do they like music?
Yeah. I mean, my whole family kind of there was always music on in the house, sort of thing.
I feel like I could tell from what you said before. Like it's quite a musical household. I feel like when it's a musical background, I feel like it's a lot easier for someone to get into music and for someone to sustain a music career as well.
100%. Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you reckon your family fucks with it? What are you up to?
I mean, I think so.
They have to, surely.
No, I think so, because like whenever I get like a placement or something, I don't think they realise like who it is, sort of thing.
100%.
Because like, I remember I got my gig song, and my dad was like, "Who's gig song?"
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fair enough. Yeah. But I think like when they really clock who it is, then they are like sort of proud. I just don't think they know how to show it in a way like, like obviously I love them in that. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, but yeah, I think they're just not as up to date. But I mean, whenever I'm like with my sister and like her friends come over and she's got the aux, she instantly just plays like all my songs, and I'm there like, you know.
Yeah.
That's sick though. I like that. Are you full time producing?
Yeah.
That's good. At 19, like especially with this one, it's like it's a very big flex. I can't lie. To get in there and do it straight away is not easy.
Yeah,
it's not easy at all.
That's why I feel like that's why like producers that are starting from like 15, 16, like you made the right decision, because
especially if you're dedicated.
Exactly. If you can start off from young and be consistent, it doesn't matter if you're from young. To be fair,
no, but we're talking about it from being young. Of course, it doesn't have to be, but when you do,
of course,
and you really decide to make that decision, and then like you're saying, email, and you stay consistent, and you want to do better, like you can make it a full-time thing way sooner, which I think is obviously what everybody wants. I
think it's a blessing. How do you find the producer lifestyle? Chat to me. What's like a week looking like in your life? Because
I've been working on it recently, because I had some time where it was like a week and I was just straight home, just straight making beats and loops. I wouldn't leave my room, sort of thing. But that kind of gets to like your head, and then you know, like you start to feel unmotivated just because you're in the same room making the same stuff, and like even if you get placements, you're just not even like gaslight because
it's just
doing the same thing.
Like tunnel vision.
Yeah. So I mean,
what would you say you make your stuff at home or in the studio, or you be coming out? Or
I mean, I like to make samples more at home, because I feel like in the studio, because like kind of what I'm known for, whenever I'm at studio, they're like, "Oh, Ellis, go make a sample right there." I'm like, "Damn,
sit down and do it now."
Yeah, and it's always like a type of sample as well.
Yeah.
So I'm here, I got made a certain sample, and like it's just pressure. But I mean, when making beats, throughout the studio for sure.
Yeah,
but
I think that's what, because I found like in all my sessions as well. Yeah, like this is why loops are so important, because at sessions sometimes making the melody in front of like an artist or something, it just doesn't work, because like they don't have the attention span for it. Like they don't really see the vision how a producer sees the vision, and like
they just want to go.
They just want to get a vibe going, and they want to, you know. So if you're sitting around fiddling about with chords and stuff, like it's not gonna. Sometimes just load it up and just crack on with it.
Yeah.
I feel like as well with that, like you know, when you're with the artist, because I was with D38 the other week. I don't know if you know that is.
Yeah, just dropped that Amsterdam song.
Yeah.
Cold, crazy.
And like, because that was when we were at Chelsea for the week, and so we had like 10, 11 people every night, sort of thing. So
I'm gonna ask you more about this in a minute, but yeah, sorry.
Yeah, for sure. So like we was there with him, and he was like, he showed me that Rust song, like the recent one he dropped with, and he was like, oh, yo, can you make me something like this, like right on the spot sort of thing. But I kind of realized like, like it's weird to say like on the spot it's harder to make, but I feel like when you've got that much pressure,
Bro,
I don't know if it's just me, but
$1,000,000%.
I can kind of get it.
Like you feel like you work better under pressure.
Yeah, because like if it's just one person, like, I'll make me this, and I could, but like when it's like 11 man deep,
when they're all sitting behind you, everyone's kind of preying, like they're all expecting big things.
Yeah, I don't know what's going through my head at that time, but sometimes I manage to get it done. But because if I don't, it's just that's kind of your name gone. Like you're kind of known for
flopping.
Yeah, it's scary.
Oh, it does get back pressure.
It's never that bad, people.
It's peak when it's just like everybody's friends. There's like one rapper, and then the rest of them are just like friends, or just acquaintances that are just chilling.
Everyone's there just judging.
And there's always one rowdy one that's just making bare noise, wants to run around and bill it. Oh, when are we billing it? When are we billing it?
You haven't had a real session yet until you've met obnoxious people in the studio that make it more fun, basically. Talk to me about this. So you got about the Airbnb in Chelsea.
Well, I was talking to like it started off like it wasn't planned like that. It started off, there was my mate Kodak. He messaged me and he was like, oh, Adiba's coming down. I don't know if you know Adiba, the sample maker. And then so that was the thing, like she was gonna come down, we're just gonna see her sort of thing. And then we realized some other people were coming down at the same time from
Was this
Europe.
the first time this happened?
Yeah. So it was kind of coincidental at the time. So we were like, okay, why don't we all just get the same B&B?
Yeah.
And then it kind of like eventually grew, and it was like, okay, we can have this, and then we can have sessions every night, because if there's a B&B in Chelsea with like a free studio pretty much, like why'd you say
it's just gonna get packed out.
Like unless you're busy, like actually busy, then it's like it's free studio, and it's sort of in Chelsea, like it's a nice place.
Nice view as well.
Very nice view.
Yeah, so we're there thinking it's like you don't really like. I think some people might do it, but it's not really a thing. I don't know why it's not really a thing, because like if you want to connect with people, I feel like stuff like that.
I think it's such a smart idea.
It's a very safe way of doing it too, where you're not like sleeping in a random studio in like Uxbridge.
Literally. Or Bow.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Who passed through?
Oh god, a lot of people passed through. Obviously, it's me, Kodak, Adiba, and that. And then, do you know Evertime?
Heard of my man.
He got on the a Boogie album. Just on that.
Crazy. Yeah.
And then it was just like a lot of sample makers, to be fair. And like Beso was there.
Yeah, fuck with Beso.
Sardos was there. Bree was there. And then and that was pretty much like our group as it was. Yeah. And then from that, we had all these people with all these connections, so we could use our connections to kind of invite more people. Yeah. And then so that's how like Ghosty came. Yeah. And, like all these other people, because it's like some people are connected, and so they could say that, and then that person can connect with everyone else.
It's like a chain. Like
yeah. That's the best way to do it, I think. Who brought the equipment?
It was actually my mate. Like I was gonna bring it and then just drive down so I could park, but the parking was like £25 a day sort of thing. So I was like, no,
Chelsea.
Not that. Yeah. So originally I was thinking like, I don't know, we could get like Bluetooth speaker or something. But then my mate, he literally had a suitcase, had 2 Adam speakers in the suitcase, and he brought that down. I was like, damn, because it was a trek to get there as well.
Yeah.
So he brought that down.
But I think you just started a trend, maybe.
Yeah, no, because slightly now, I kind of want to do this as well.
Well, when we were talking about it,
especially if you don't live in London. Sorry,
right.
It just like it makes a lot of sense to like base off there for the week.
Well, even like booking Airbnbs for a month makes it considerably less expensive. Like I don't know about London, but I looked in other places where you'll book it for a month, and it went from like a bag to like 800, 600.
They really like cut the price so that belongs to you.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good idea.
It's actually a shout.
Originator. You better claim that still.
Yeah, but I mean, like things with London, like because I know you said about the month thing, but like I don't know if it's because I live in Norwich, but like after about 2 weeks, I can't stay for a month sort of thing. I just kind of feel like there's too much going on.
It's too intense.
Yeah.
What's it like?
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, Ely boys.
No, literally, like North of that. You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
What is it like being successful from a very, quiet area?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm quite successful yet.
I would say you're successful. Whether you want to say it or not, I'm saying it.
All right, but I mean, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, because I think it would feel more crazy if I'm actually in the studio making the songs. Because like whenever I get told, like, because the other week I got told I got another song with G Herbo, and like I can't
Naturally, yeah.
And like at the time I saw it, and then I was a bit gassed, but it's just like it's just a message, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if I'm actually in there, and I'm seeing it making it, then I feel a lot more successful. And like
these are the beginning steps. These are the steps you have to take before you get there. You can't just jump there. You wouldn't be ready, would you? You got to like.
It's so crazy.
You know what I mean?
It's so crazy though that you're saying that, and it's like, but like it always feels like the grass is green on the other side to like everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like because I'm like, I would love to be like just sending like beats out, and then just having them land, and then having that all happen passively.
Right, so you want it in person and you want it passive.
Yeah, like this is what I'm saying. Like everybody always wants it differently, I guess, but you change your mind over time.
Do your friends like, they like fuck with what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean,
school
like
friends.
Even people who I didn't like or like we didn't really get on, they kind of big me up for my stuff now, which is kind of cool. But
yeah, that's cool.
Have to. Do you know what I'm saying? It's good.
Yeah, I feel like they only really big you up when they see like the success, and not the actual
numbers
work you put in and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I'm only curious only because it's like when you're from London and you grow up in London, I feel like it's almost like everybody kind of wants to be doing something. Not to say that people on the outskirts don't, but where it's such a chill and quiet place, you kind of just almost don't really expect someone to just want to go, straight in the stars and da-da-da. Do you know what I mean?
This is kind of what I said about Cambridge, isn't it? Like, like it's everyone's on like a big hustling vibe, and then it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe you just don't see it because you're not looking for it in other places.
Yeah, it's true. Plus, everybody who like-minded people like you in those outskirt areas want to come to London and do the stuff in London, right? Because London is like
it's
more of a busier place and more of a, well, it's basically got everything you need in terms of studio and connections and things like that. So, yeah, I suppose I'm just like wondering what it feels like to come from a quieter place into a more of a busier place.
Yeah, it feels like it makes you hungrier, I guess, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like it's harder though, not only because you're not in the place, but like the circle around you. A lot of the time, it might not be for everyone, but like a lot of the time, they're not willing to go the extra step. So it's hard to keep that, maintenance in yourself, to keep on pushing when everyone else around you is like, sort of half-hearted with stuff. So I feel like in London, a lot of people are more willing to go that far.
Yeah.
Have you been out of London to produce like in any other countries or America?
No, I mean that's what I'm trying to get on.
Okay.
Yeah.
This year, innit?
Definitely.
Because I'm down there in June.
So say your manager's from over there. So so that's another question. How did that come about? Because I'm assuming that he's helping connect a bunch of these stuff as well.
Yeah, well, I mean,
shout out the managers, man.
Yeah.
Every time.
And trying to think how it started. Well, it started like I had the NLE Choppa song, and I don't know what it's like with UK placements, but with American placements, a lot of the time they will try not to pay you. Like they won't reach out, they won't do nothing.
Damn.
Like you got to kind of get onto that
sort
of thing. So because I had the song out, I had no one contact me at all. So I was like, what's up? And then
I think that's so weird.
Well, as in that you just saw the song drop and then you're like,
you heard it and it was yours.
Yeah. I mean, I was at college and then it got leaked in this like Chinese website or something, and then everyone was saying like, "Oh, Ellis, this is your sample," sort of thing. I was like, "What?" And then the next day it drops, and I just didn't get.
Damn, that's wild.
That's slightly legendary though as well. At school, just like you're chilling like NLE Choppa placement. Bosh.
On your lunch break.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
I think the whole management thing was like around that sort of time. I wouldn't say like I was reaching out, but I was just trying to see like, who was sort of like genuine, because like you can't just sign to someone and like not know them prior, because they're probably in there just for the money, just for the places, not to actually help you sort of thing.
Yeah.
So obviously I was doing these calls, I was talking to these people, and I was in a bit of a hurry, to be fair, which I don't really like. Feel like I should take my time, but I did take like 2-3 months before I actually
made the decision.
But eventually I then signed to him sort of thing, and then like what they are is like they're part of like, you know, Beat Club and stuff.
Yeah.
And like Timbaland and stuff. Because it's his, I can't remember whether it's cousin or nephew. One of those is Marvin manager because there's 2 managers.
Okay, sick.
So, and he's like always like in the studio sort of stuff. So he's like the A&R sort of thing for it. So it'd be like, it's annoying as well because the time zone. So it'd be like 3 a.m. and he'd be like, I'll send these beats.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I was about to go to sleep sort of thing. And then obviously Marcel, the one who reached out, he does, you know, he handles the business and stuff and he makes sure everyone's all right. That's what I'm saying. When I go to LA, I'm going to be with him for 2 weeks. And like to let someone stay in your house for 2 weeks, like I wouldn't say stranger, but like someone you've never met before. It's like,
but he has your best interest and he's proved that to you, hasn't he?
That's what I'm saying. When he said that, you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
How genuine some people can be, but
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, having a genuine, I think I may have said this on another episode as well. Having a genuine manager is like one of the smartest moves you can make as a producer, because like you're only as strong really as the team around you, and and how hard the people around you are working.
Yeah.
And like, it is really a thing in this music industry. You got to be looking out for like snaky shit, because you know if people don't have your best interests, then somewhere down the line, it's all gonna go.
I can't lie. Right now, I feel like it's up there. Like a lot of people don't have that interest.
Yeah,
like you can't see from the outside, but when you're really into it, you can tell.
Yeah,
they don't want you for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like you started to realize that once you chill in the industry a bit more, and you kind of
I think you just kind of grow to learn about it.
Yeah, it's such a shame because it's like those kind of people who are snaky are only really in it for the short-term benefits and like short-term like payouts or whatever, or even it being like a advanced situation and they want to get, they're like pushing you to get an advance or whatnot just so they can get paid. But really in the long term you could build something that was so much bigger and better and like really genuinely push your artists or your producers to do, you know, bigger things, and then in the long term it really, really will pay off instead of it being something quick and easy. Do you think?
No, 100%.
Absolutely. Do you feel like you've benefited from having a manager?
Yeah, I mean, for like songs as well, like when the NLE Choppa one came out, that was pretty much when I was sort of more or less thinking about management, because I wasn't prior, because the songs was like they were off like leases and stuff, wasn't anything too major. So like stuff like that is kind of cool to have, especially with American ones, because they can get it sorted. Because for one, they are there, because like he lives in Hollywood, so he's like he knows these people sort of thing. It's like I don't personally know these people because I'm you know. So
I
feel like you made a very good decision. Absolutely. Especially when if like that's the type of music that you want to be doing, like having someone over there.
You want to be doing?
100%.
Oh, I thought. 100%. Oh yeah, I should have really made that.
I was gonna say just to make sure. You never know. You might want to be doing like reggae or something. I don't know.
House music or something.
Yeah, why not transition? So was you? Do you feel like you'll always be producing like these kind of trap like?
I mean, it'd be
trap, right?
Yeah, I guess it's trap.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to branch out sometimes. Like, I want to get like more sync stuff.
Okay.
Which is
big money.
Sync is incredible.
Big money.
You had I saw on your Instagram, you have the Supreme placement.
Yeah.
How does that come about?
That one that's one I didn't know about.
Bro, so Supreme just nicks your beat.
Right, it's like that because it's like it was from a song.
Mad. Yeah.
And I kind of feel like the song was bought for release, and they just used a song like that because it was just in a group chat. So it was like a 40-minute long video. I didn't even know they dropped it, and then someone messaged me and then with like the timestamp, it was like, "Swear that's your loop." It's just things like that.
Bro,
like
all your boys know your loops are yours.
Like,
your boys are tapped into you. Fucking hell. They rate your thing, man. Oh my days.
That's what I'm saying. You don't really get like told about this stuff so much. Like it's as if they try to kind of like hide out these placements as if it didn't happen, so they can kind of.
I think it's so sneaky.
Rush past.
It's so sneaky.
It makes you think like how much stuff is out there that I don't know.
Yeah, because what you're putting it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
With BeatStars you'd know, right? But like.
Yeah, but even then, like YouTube, SoundCloud, like just email. Like once it's out there, like you've got no idea where it's ended up until.
And then it ends up in two people's hands.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you have to choose. And
oh my god, I've been dealing with the situation all week.
Have you tried like Shazamming your stuff before?
Oh, that's actually I heard somebody said like Shazamming your beats.
I've been doing that, and I've seen like songs I just didn't even know about.
Really? That's cool. Well, like full beats or like loop stuff.
Well, sometimes it's loops, sometimes it's beats, but if it's out there somewhere, you can literally just Shazam the beat, like from like you just send it to your phone, Shazam it, and then it will say like if there's a song in it, the song will come up.
And
That's very
like
cool.
songs are really popping up in your thing, and then you were going around just collecting, just be like, this is mine, this is mine.
That's what I'm saying. It's just sneaking it, like
No,
it's crazy.
because if I find that you use my thing on Shazam, I'm charging you like 3 times as much. Like I should not be finding out through Shazam.
That's
That's a bit of sauce though, slightly.
I mean, like I think loop makers already kind of put onto that because you know we're like lower than drum makers in the whole scale right now.
There's
I haven't even heard the term drum makers before.
really? Like you know what I mean, like
so there's like producers, beat makers, loop makers, and like songwriters are like somewhere at the bottom somewhere.
What, drum makers?
I look, you feel like engineers are kind of down there as well because no one really bigs up engineers.
Engineers aren't respected enough.
Yeah,
Man.
that's big up Aku actually. Big up Aku.
Shout out Aki.
Aku's my favorite engineer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like Aku.
that's your
He's
G,
mad
innit?
cool. Yeah. We have to big up people and shout people out.
You got to say names and actually shout them out. have you had? Okay, this will be fun. Have you had? So you send out your loops to producers. You ever had problems? Because we have a lot of producers on the show, and they love to talk about loop makers. But you know, if you want to talk to the loop maker, producer, loop maker, whatever.
Yeah. It's like pronouns. You have to really be careful.
Now, words. You got to be careful, man. You don't want to be mislabeling someone's music
ability. What was you gonna say before you got?
I was gonna
excited?
say, have you run into any issues with people disagreeing about splits or like do you send it
Oh my
out?
god, the loop makers like collab.
Yeah, you can get collab loops.
Okay. How is that getting split up?
You get a lot of times apparently.
Imagine having 3 producers on it and like 2 loop makers on a beat.
That's kind of normal though.
Like
Really?
with like Drake songs and that, he's got like 7 producers.
Damn.
Things like that.
Everyone gets a little slice of the pie.
That's wild.
I think like with the splits thing, I kind of like, I always do my splits. If I have a collab loop, I do 25, 25, 50. Some people do 33, 33, 33, but that just seems like it's just going to start some, some
issues. Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just
Who
take
gets
the
the
25.
point free recurring? Like
Yeah. So normally I just do like 50-50 because that's just kind of,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes they would say like, I was in Syria, I got a place, all that sort of stuff. I mean, depending on who it is, if I'm cool with them sort of thing, I'm not overly stressed. But I mean, that's not really something I saw. That's what I'm saying. That's what like my management stuff. Like.
Okay, so the manager sort out the splits and you just make the loops and keep
I mean, it's kind of cool for that because it doesn't mess up your connections because you're not saying it.
Bro, I'm telling you, this is actually the cheat codes because every single time, I've got an issue with anything. Ewan, chat to him, please sound back.
it's like your little bodyguard.
Yeah, man, he comes through and he kind of, he looks after us. They're good.
Exactly. What, Ellis, what do you want to be doing in the next 6 months?
Dun dun dun.
Ideally, I want to know what's on your manifestation board.
6 months. I mean, obviously I got LA in that. I just want that to go well, so I'm trying to properly plan it out.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, sessions you can't plan stuff out months in advance because
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of spontaneous things where people are like, come through.
Yeah, so I mean that's one of the major things. A lot of them is like songs and that, But
you're sitting on a lot of unreleased stuff.
I mean,
that's a yes.
It's like, I mean,
I got something the other day that I can't really. I don't want to talk about because it's like I haven't heard the song yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not gonna go on.
You don't want to
of course.
yourself.
Yeah, but I mean a few, but I think for this year, what I'm focusing on the most, like it probably sounds quite, boring, but like a nice, mental sort of balance.
Absolutely.
Myself, because I feel like the reason producers quit is because they're not mentally ready for the whole process. Because it's like, if you have a good mental cycle, like their day-to-day cycle, then I feel like your longevity just increases so much.
Absolutely.
So it's like this year I'm trying to sort out how I can balance my actual life and making music because it's kind of unhealthy. Like, I think I saw I think it was on the Jay Cactus one. They even said they can't balance it out. Most people they can't, innit? So I probably still have it unbalanced, but like just having it right in my head that it doesn't like get to me sometimes. I'm trying to just cut that out, sort of thing. So.
Absolutely.
Now, work it actually gets overwhelming. like if you don't take control of it. This is the mental health segment of the podcast today, where we're talking about looking after yourself.
Did you ever previously have like a 9 to 5 or like even like a silly little job? No, really. You went straight into it.
I worked one shift before.
Oh damn!
It was at this cloakroom at some venue.
Okay.
And so it was easy. It was like, I think it's just like £10 an hour for 5 hours. And then I wasn't doing nothing. It was like for one of the nights. And obviously it was a cloakroom, so everyone comes in, and you do the work then. Put stuff away and just. But even then, I was like, this,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
It took 5 hours to realize. 5 hours to realize that.
That's got to be a record.
No, it won't.
You could be like, yeah, this isn't for me. Sorry. See you later, guys.
Mom,
I'm going to be a producer.
Yeah, it was like one of the optional ones. Like, it wasn't like a contracted thing. It's just like my sister would sometimes work there, and she was like, "Do you want to come?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." But that kind of gave me the
jobs are good. I feel like when you just get to pass it on. That's cool though. I think that's really cool. But the only thing was like, why I ask is because when you get into that cycle of like waking up at a certain time, getting ready, going to work, like doing your shift, meeting random people at work, and like getting into these weird like situations and stuff like that, like you get into that working cycle. I feel like it becomes a little bit more easier when you're in a freelance because you know how to structure your day. And when you haven't had that structure, I feel like it might be a little bit harder.
But this is the thing with producing. There's no structure.
There can be structure when you implement structure.
Okay, you can implement structure.
But obviously, like, with producing, it's kind of all like up in the air with like sessions and cancellations and all this type of stuff. So yeah, I get that. I just feel like with the working world, there is like a set thing, which...
And I feel like that's what some people really like. Like sometimes, like as a producer, like I had in the back of my head, like sometimes I wish I just had like a real job so I had some structure and I knew when my paycheck was going to come in and I knew that I'm going to actually have work on this day.
Yeah, because pay is even like a thing. Like it's just like up in the air again. Like you're chasing people for stuff.
You have to be like, it might come like 12 months down the line, innit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't rely on placements at all for money.
Yeah,
I just see it as like a bonus.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, like that's something I wanted to say as well. Because like, I feel like now is probably the best time you can make a living off of music.
I think so. Yeah,
like with the internet and stuff. There's so many sources of income.
What kind of ways do you monetize?
Well, I mean, like my two like top ways right now is through like my kits.
Yep.
And just beat sales.
Yeah.
But like even with that you can live off that because like you can literally just put a kit out sort of thing, but it's just how you push it. I feel like it's more important because like with like sample packs, I make sure the first sample is like crazy, like probably gets your attention.
Blow your head off, yeah.
And like and it's just little things like graphics and all that. Like it's got to be right, and I feel like when you get it right, it gets so much more like views and attention, and that leads to sales. So
yeah,
I feel like it's deeper than just putting kits out, selling beats. So much more you can do to.
Yeah, I feel like especially like as a producer with some kind of following or audience, it's essential that you capitalize off that really, and you actually put out things that people can buy, especially like digital products where you don't really have to spend any money to create them.
Yeah,
you're really just selling stuff that was free to make you, so it's all profit.
Has any of your stuff been put on Reddit?
Oh yeah.
Has
Reddit L.
Well, Reddit is cheeky.
It's not even that. There's this one. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called like Producer Wav.
Wait, and it's like, and it's literally just for stealing.
It's literally like thing is
like literally just for stealing.
Yeah, it's like what they do is like they buy your kit and they sell it for like half the price. So people go to there to
buy. They're chopping. They're basically reselling and chopping.
Yeah.
Damn,
crazy.
Discounted
my shit's
loot
on there
kits.
1,000,000%. Oh
yeah, but you did a free one, so I don't know.
No,
that's bad.
This is not good.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it taken down though.
Can you?
Yeah, like
do you?
Can't lie. I've got a few taken down, but I kind of got to the point where it's like it'd be the old kits, and I'm like, it still gets sales through me. So I'm thinking like, do people even buy off there? Because I feel like if you have the right fan base, they will buy from you and not from other people.
100%. And that's why connecting with like your followers and connecting with your audience and building that kind of personable relationship will make people want to come and buy your shit.
Absolutely.
Make you lots of money.
But that's what builds your following as well, like because they like you and your specific sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
and they like your image and they like the way that you monetize things and brand yourself and everything like that. So I feel like it all goes hand in hand.
What's like an important a way that you branded yourself, you reckon?
I think like the top way was making a sound for myself.
Yeah.
Because like I had this certain dark sound. Like it was kind of before the whole Nala loops. Right now, everyone's making dark Nala Wick loops, same sort of thing.
Reversed.
But like I was kind of on my own stuff like before, and then it got to a point where people would send me snippets from like placement sort of thing. They'd be like, "This is your loop, or is this your loop?" Like it's got to be your loop. Because it kind of had that sound. Yeah. And when you get your own sound where people are literally sending you stuff saying this is your loop without even knowing it's your loop, I feel like that's kind of the way you can really start out your brand.
Yeah, I feel like like just distinguishing yourself and actually having such a distinct. Yeah,
I think I found Adiba through you and your account. Yeah. And I'm very fascinated about like female producers, female loop makers, and all that kind of stuff. So like, how did you guys link up?
Well, that was with the Chelsea thing. I mean, I know her prior, but
right, just like online.
Yeah, it was just like the little sort of you comment on each other's posts.
Yeah.
But then when she came to Chelsea, it was when I first actually linked her.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, yeah, I think it's cool to see more female producers.
Oh, absolutely.
Shout out the female producers
every time.
Let's talk about the female podcast. Shout out the female podcast coming soon.
Yeah, actually I've got a female music industry. Yeah. Where this is more specific to podcasts. This one is more industry based. Yeah. Which is quite cool. Which is like, I love finding new women not new women, but I love finding women who are doing this stuff who are new to me. So I think that's quite cool. I think it's cool that she was down to come, and like, because obviously it's very intimidating being in a room full of guys sometimes that one, you don't even know, and two, is like there's always this kind of like lingering thing of like, oh, are you actually good, or like, do you know what I mean? Like there's always that kind of like animosity in the room, but I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Like what's funny about those, because they came from Croatia. It was her and Briggy, who both came from Croatia, two producers. And then, so I was there thinking, I was like, oh, it might be a bit awkward, it might be a bit shy.
Right.
But I swear, Adiba, like, when she comes to the room, she's talking to everyone. So
oh, yeah.
Like she's getting everyone's names, actually having chats with them. I'm like, damn, because like I was talking to her and they don't really go to sessions in like Croatia and that. So,
damn.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to meet people from like other countries that do producing,
and also that just goes to show how like important like a first impression is. When you're like entering a new room full of people, you gotta make it known from a jump that you're there to network with people, and you're there to learn, and you're there to work. Yeah, because I don't know, man, have you ever been like a session that's just like shy people in there, or it's like a little bit just?
I was one of them before.
Yeah, bro.
Like my first one, I was in the back. I was just like.
Yeah.
Just like headphones on, just don't talk to me.
As if I was just in my own room, sort of thing.
I feel like it's always that way. Even with people who are outgoing, they're just a bit like reserved for their first ever session.
Yeah, man. But I feel like this world will, I feel like you get the energy back that you put in. This is one thing I've learned from doing sessions where, like, if you find yourself reciprocating the energy in the room, you're in control to change that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. If you want to put out a better energy and get a reception back, then that's perfectly possible. You just got to have that confidence. And that's a lesson.
That's the lesson for today. We're going to play a game.
Are we?
This game is called A&R.
Oh, I love this game.
And basically what we do is... He's like, what? Yeah, so this is a game called that we made called A&R, right?
We came up to this walk into the shop.
Yeah, we love to play games on the train. It was on the train, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
This is class, yeah.
Anyways, so we're going to give you a name of an artist, and you have to reply back to us with someone who would be good on a song with them. Are you ready?
Yeah.
But it's a quick one, like you have to think on the spot.
Oh, damn.
Right?
It's really quick.
Okay. You're going to go first.
It's really funny. Okay. Who'd you put Heady One on the song with? You could put him on a track for anybody. Already, he's like, he was hoping I said that 21 Savage or something.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to say Heady. Oh, bro, I don't know. That's a hard one. Oh. Yeah, no, I'm going for that one.
To be fair, though, Heady and 21 Savage on the track would be...
I swear Heady could work with anyone, low key, because like, I don't know, it's something to do with his voice. It's just it works with so many different beats.
No, it's true.
Blends with everyone.
It is true. Who would you put Kodak on with a song with?
Kodak Black.
Mm-hmm.
21 actually.
I hope.
Bro's gonna answer 21 Savage.
It's because you said it. I know, that's the first thing that came to my head.
You fuck with 21 Lil Harold, didn't it?
Yeah, I got one song with him. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I tapped into him very recently, you know, and I started listening to him. He's fucking cold. Who would you place him up with? And if you don't know about my man, then go and check him out. It's very cold.
What 21? Well, Harold. I mean, I'd say Young Nudie for sure. But I mean, they're like kind of
they're tapped in
thing
anyway,
in
yeah.
But that sound is like, you know, it's kind of a new sound coming up. You know, the Young Nudie sort of sound.
Yeah, it's like more like kind of laid back kind of rapping, but it's more like the hard NG beats.
Who would you put a song with? Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. You know, you can't even think of a question.
No,
You can't think of your answers. If you can't think of
because you lot are taking very long with these answers. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, fucking, who's that guy that we saw the other day? Young Gravy.
Young Gravy.
Have you heard of him? Yeah. Who would you put him on a song with
Young
to make
Gravy.
him pop?
What do you know about Young Gravy?
Bro, I mean, bro,
I'll put
The
Doja
people
Cat
you're
with Young
saying.
Gravy.
yeah, I mean, Doja Cat, that sounds right.
Yeah, Doja Cat, yeah.
I ain't heard Young Gravy since like, I used to listen to him in like year 7.
Bro, you know, he
Is
dropped a remix on Artan song the other day.
Real.
Funniest thing, you know that she's a 10, but she couldn't.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been seeing that.
Trying to cut back through. That's mad.
Your turn.
I'm like,
I'm flopping on these.
You gotta think. See, when you go home, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this person."
Nah,
this
literally.
person.
I wish I said.
I'm gonna deep this on the way back.
Literally.
For sure.
All right, let's swap the narrative just a tiny little bit.
Okay.
Like, producer-wise, who would you want to see work with, like Southside, for example?
Southside, what, like an artist?
Yeah, artist, producer. Because, you know, as producers, we're as much fans of producers as artists.
True.
I think.
I just want some weird shit like, I don't know, like Nav on a Southside beat.
Yeah, bro.
I know, like you don't hear that. So
That'd be
you hear on
crazy.
Wheezy beats.
Yeah.
But Don Toliver actually.
Yeah, he's sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like,
Did you hear a track he dropped yesterday with Lil Durk and
nah, I saw that.
Glorilla. Crazy track.
I saw that advertiser, but I ain't seen it.
Big song.
That's it. Oh, we're doing producers. Kenny Beats. Always, forever.
Kenny and Hedy could be cool.
That would
Do you know what's actually so funny? I was in a session with Kenny and Hedy.
Real?
Yeah, like
Damn.
they were just like, this was a few months back. My man's bare tall, you know, it's taller
I was
than you.
gonna say, sorry, it's tall.
Yeah,
He's
fam, it's
huge.
Wham. Bare wham. And they made like 3 songs in one night.
What was he in
Damn.
the UK?
Yeah, he came through to London.
Damn. I didn't know that.
I think he's here on a regular basis now.
Oh, I have a question for you. Who would you like to work with? Top 3 producers you would like to work with out of
Producers.
everybody.
I mean, first one's got to be Wonder Girl. She's one of the reasons why I started.
Okay.
Shout out Wonder Girl.
Wonder, obviously Metro. And damn, I mean, I don't want to say no one too big because
Why
it's so
not?
generic.
Oh, I hear it.
Like everyone wants to work with Metro, innit?
Yeah.
That's what I wonder. But
I feel like you would have said Southside if you hadn't already worked
I
with
would
him.
have.
Yeah.
Wheezy as well. I ain't got nothing with
Ooh.
Wheezy yet.
Yeah.
That would be
Then-
lit.
And
I feel like Wheezy Beats right now is up there.
he's hot right now. And ATL Jacob too. Them and
Yeah, I forgot about this. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be thinking about this later on.
Yeah.
ATL Jacob #1 for sure.
yeah, he's hot.
I've been trying to. Actually, no. I can't just change that whole thing. Like
Yeah.
ATL Jacob and like Section 8.
Okay.
Section 8 beats are hard
Yeah.
and Wheezy. Probably just because of their beats, not even because of who they're produced for.
Yeah, like they've just got the swag in it. Like
Yeah.
their style is very.
It's like,
It's all about having that unique style in it. Like you
Yeah.
can tell who's just like.
you know, with Wheezy Beats, it has a different sort of bounce.
Yeah.
I can hear it's sort of him. I like those producers where you can hear it's them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
How are you gonna go about working with them? How are you gonna try and work with them? Because I'm sure there's other people out there that are trying to do the same thing, and you know they'd appreciate a little bit of advice, and you know they want to kind of.
I feel like to work with the big producers right now, the best way would be to work with their sample makers. Because right now, like, you know, within the past year or so, is where sample makers start collabing together.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a new thing, like with starters and that. So I think, because I got beat with Take Keith through a collab loop.
Okay.
Like, I had no connection to Take Keith at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like
That's
their
cool,
producers are a lot smaller. Like, I don't know if you know Elkan. He got
Yeah.
one on the Metro album.
And it's more accessible.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got. To be fair, he just did get followed by Drake. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where he's at. But,
Not no more.
but like people like that who's got like 10K. Like if you get like over 20K, then you can probably reach them still. But that's all on your brand. If you're like some producer who's got like 1K followers, you got some beats up. If you got some good samples, I feel like if you have them on your page, when you reach out to these sample makers and they hear you've got good stuff, they'll work with you. Or at least that's what I do. If I don't get who you are, like if you've got good samples, I will. So I feel like if you want to work with these big producers, you have to have a good sound sort of thing and just a good way of networking. Like you got to reach out to these people.
You got to come with the goods.
Especially with networking, I feel like Marcel's going to give you a very good push in that direction, especially when you go out there where you're going to be a lot closer to them and their network as well, especially.
Yeah, it's going to be big difference.
There's going to be a movie.
Yeah.
Movie settings.
Worksy.
Literally.
Worksy. I suppose that's it though.
Oh no, that's been.
That's the time.
It's been an hour and a bit. Ellis, my boy, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Appreciate it.
I feel like we know you better now.
I know, you feel like, you know, and shout out the socials and all of that because, we know that you're trying to do, you've got the YouTube thing going on. Got the,
yeah, well, I mean, I think I'm just Ellis and everything.
Too humble, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
New podcast episodes, all of that.
Yeah, we're trying to get them out sooner and quicker and everything because we've been held up, we've been backed up for so long.
It's been a slack.
It has been a slack. It's a 2-man job though. 3-man job.
3-man.
Shout out George.
But yeah, new episodes always. Love for watching all of that. Bye.
Cut the blood clap cameras.
Bosh.